You are now tuned in to Dubstep FBI. What is up, headbangers? You are locked into the Filthy Beat Inspectors podcast. I am your co-host, Chrissy.
And this is your homegirl, Yessie.
And today we have a very special guest, the king of tear out, Marauda.
I wouldn't say king, but I appreciate the overstatement.
We'll crown you the prince of tear out.
Hell yeah. So tell us what it's been like in quarantine.
It's been I don't know. I was definitely like a lot more productive like toward the start, but I'm like since I've like been off university, I've had so much free time on my hands, and it's kind of hard to like maintain schedule and stuff. But I start back up in like 2 weeks, I think. So yeah, that should whoop my ass back into place, hopefully.
What university are you going to? What are you studying?
The University of Sydney. I'm studying diagnostic radiography.
Oh, okay.
Explain.
Yeah. I have no real interest in it. It's just like, I don't know, a fallback.
So this is just a backup plan, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is radiography?
Like taking x-rays, like MRIs, yeah. Being able to make like a brief like diagnosis.
Mm-hmm. Damn, so you must be pretty smart to even get admitted to that program.
I don't know. I'd like to think so. I don't think I am. I mean,
that's so funny. Well, what has it been like in Australia? Because we're out here in America and things have been a bumpy ride. And we're kind of looking at you guys with a bit of a jealous lens because it seems like things are going pretty well.
I mean, things are like rough at the start, but it's been like a month since we've had any COVID cases here. And like I know in like Western Australia, they've not had cases for like 7 months now, which is crazy. Like everything's back to normal there, but we still don't have shows or like any like larger capacity gatherings just because like not many people are getting tested, so we don't really know for sure if there's like still like a strain for floating out there that's like going under the radar. But yeah, for the most part, like things are going like pretty okay, and I'm like kind of glad to be like based where I am, even though it was like a curse a year ago, like having to fly back and forth between like Sydney and the States constantly.
Oh my gosh.
But, like,
I don't know how you did that. I mean, I
was
don't
doing
mind.
it once a month at one stage.
Oh my gosh. And so what's the shortest time you've stayed in the States? Like, would you fly out here, stay here for just one day or two to play the show and then fly back immediately? Or would you stay for an extended period of time?
The shortest amount of time I'd ever stayed was probably like 5 days, just because I was still like enrolled in classes here, so I couldn't really like risk like missing out on like tutorials. I know it's not that they're not like relatively like important just because like everything's online and stuff, but like I don't know,
right,
I like being there in person.
Yeah. So are they giving you the option then to be in person or virtual, like the hybrid option?
It's been all virtual this past year.
Okay. And so when you go back in 2 weeks, then it's still virtual?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, hey, at least you're getting that degree and you're wrapping it up, and then it's moving on with life whenever you graduate.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in the meantime, can you hint at like any collabs you're working on? You know, before school starts, you've probably been working on a lot of things and you have a lot of free time on your hands. So what's cooking?
Kinda. So I've got like a Subtronics one, Scarlet, Slander.
Yo,
Slander? What?
What the?
I'm shook. I can't wait to hear this because I love slander.
Yeah, I think that's it for now. I think Carnage, um, was you guys went silent.
Well, did you see all that drama that went down with him last week?
Kinda, yeah, but I feel like what he said was a little like misconstrued. Like he could have better like implied that like he was referring specifically to artists like within like a VT's league, like people on like the people at the forefront, like headlining like festivals and stuff. Because in that way, like it kind of makes sense. There's Flume and like maybe like I don't know, but yeah, there's definitely like a fuck ton of innovation happening like in the underground. Like it's a really great time for dubstep.
I feel like
Yeah.
Carnage is the type of guy who just likes to stir the pot.
Perhaps. I'm not sure. I haven't spoken to him much, but yeah, he's always been nice to me. So I only like judge people based on like my personal encounters with them. So yeah, no
Fair enough.
complaints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, speaking of the underground, like it was just like a year or two or three ago that you were considered really underground. And
I still consider myself underground, but yeah.
exactly.
I mean, yes, but I feel like you've also made a huge footprint in dubstep. I have yet to see a live set from you. Like, I will not live with myself until I see a live set.
The last set of yours that I saw was actually at Lost Land in 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That sunset set on Friday, that was magical.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky with that time slot.
That's like the desired time slot, I feel like, for a lot of artists, because that's when the crowd is just getting warmed up. They're getting their drinks in. They're like squadding up, getting ready for the night. It was an amazing way to start my first Lost Lands.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal. I'm hoping I get to play at the Ogden Theater again.
I was at
I
that show
played there.
too.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that show was really fun.
Well, I was going to ask, like, when I mentioned the whole underground thing, when you were underground, or maybe you still are, you called yourself Mastodon. And there were so many rumors circulating when you changed your name. I'm just curious, like, can you tell us more about how that happened?
I'm not really allowed to like go into detail as to like what went down, but I got like I got a letter saying that like I need to I I need to change my name within like 5 days.
Oh,
Or
wow.
I could
5 days.
face the lawsuit. Yes, I had like 5 days to think of a new name and implement it across like all my socials, and it's super stressful. And then I made like a Word doc with like 50 or so names, and like I wasn't fully set on Marauda, but like it was like the least shitty one on the list. So I just had to like, bite the bullet and go for it.
Wow. 5 days. I mean, it takes people years to develop their brand. And I feel like
Yeah.
you did a really good job of turning that around, especially by maintaining the same kind of like prehistoric look and feel to your logo. And I feel like it caught on pretty quick.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's like no one even noticed that you had a rebrand. I mean, yes, they did, of course, but yeah, you turned it around really
Yeah.
quickly and it seemed like you made it look easy, to be honest.
Yeah. The timing kind of helped because I had Lost Lands right after like the name changed it, and it was like the perfect opportunity to like showcase the name change at like a broad level.
Do you have any sort of theme that you go for? I mean, I've picked up on like the prehistoric type vibes, like not necessarily woolly mammoths, but like tusks and stuff like that. Is there some theme that you always try to stick with?
No, not really. We give our artist like free reign. He can kind of do whatever like he feels fits the music. So we just go with that. And yeah, like
I
it's
dig it.
been yeah, it's been pretty chill. ever since. Like we've got a pretty tight relationship with the guy who like does my art and stuff. So yeah, it's like worked out pretty well, like branding wise.
I really like all of your theme. So I think your artist does a really good job and it's very consistent. And it definitely fits into that dubstep theme that I would say, where it's like kind of dark, but also like very heavy hitting, you know?
Also, it's cool like when you find an artist who knows what you like and you don't really have to give them any direction, you know? You're just like, hey, I
Yeah.
have an upcoming release. Like, here's the name of the song. I need some artwork for it. Maybe you'll have
Mm,
one revision, but other than that, I mean, keep them locked in.
yeah. We usually get like multiple to choose from. And then like the ones that we don't think fit a certain release, we'll like hold on to until we do like find like a fitting time for them. But yeah.
That's even better, like having multiple options because we've worked with artists, not going to call out who, but we've had some artists where we told them this is our idea and then they only send us one draft and it's like, well, can we have multiple options maybe? No.
And then if you don't like the first draft, it's like, well, can you start over? And it gets kind of awkward.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, because you want to be
definitely.
respectful of their time, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
hmm Well, I'm curious to hear. So I'm gonna backtrack a bit. Your track Ruckus with Trampa, oh my god, like that is probably the most violent tear out I've ever heard. And for
Oh,
those of you who
thank you.
don't know, I work in sales and I do a lot of cold calls and I got to have a sales warm up. So that track is like the first one to play on my sales warm up playlist because I got to get hyped.
Oh
So,
yeah.
what was it like to work on that track with Trampa?
Uh, Fairly like surreal, given that like trap is pretty much like the reason why I'm here. Like his
Wow.
like hearing a song Jump Smoke is what like pushed me to start like learning how to write music and stuff. So yeah, it was like pretty surreal for me. I still kind of don't believe that it like actually happened. Same with like the back to back as well. Like it hasn't hit me yet. But
Did you just like slide through his DMs one day, or like how did you first get in touch with him?
uh it was like back in 2015. So literally after I wrote my first song, he like sent me a friend request on Facebook and asked for more music, and I freaked the fuck out. And I sent him like I spammed him so hard before he replied. And then like before he even replied, I thought he was like done with me. Like there's no way he's gonna like keep fucking with me if I appear like this fanatical about his music. But then like yeah, he was chill.
He slid into the DMs, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, usually it's the other way around. I'm usually the one who has to slide into people's DMs. If I were you, I would be so honored. I would have been shocked.
Yeah, I was like I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
That's legendary. Hell yeah. Well, another one of your tracks that is, I'm gonna go ahead and call it your most popular track, Death Pit. Was that your whisper on the track?
Yeah.
I
Ooh.
love that.
Yeah.
Gets me so hyped in the
I
pit.
hate it. I can't like whenever I hear it like on a big system, I'm just like
Do you
it
close your
makes me
ears?
cringe so hard. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, not again.
But the good thing is that like nobody really knows it's me. So
After this recording, they're
I
gonna know
just
it was
screwed
you.
that over for myself. But
You're dropping so many leaks today. I mean, I guess this is why they call us the FBI. We're digging up the dirt.
yeah.
I'm curious to hear what the bass scene is like in Australia. I mean, I see that phase one, obviously, he's been playing a couple of shows, I believe. I know he played one in Perth, but I think he's been playing a couple. But what's the bass scene like out there compared to here in the States?
Um it's a lot smaller, but more vibrant in a way, just because like uh it's like a very new scene, like all like fresh faces and stuff. So it's like I mean, you still get the same thing like in the States and Europe as well, but in Australia, it's like on a much smaller scale. So it's kind of like right in your face. But yeah, and like music wise as well, we've got like loads of producers who are killing it right now, like Leo Tricks, Linky, Chibs, Getorix, like I don't know, there's too many to name.
I was
But
listening
yeah, like
to Leo Trix's most recent live set. I forget where he was. He was playing down there somewhere
Brisbane,
last month.
yeah.
Yeah, dude, that live set, the crowd sounded unreal. He was like, "You guys gotta
Yeah,
stop screaming."
yeah.
That's awesome. Where
It's,
do you want to tour after COVID? Is there any spot in particular?
um, I definitely want to go back to the States, but I do want to play in Asia eventually, like anywhere in Asia. Like that's like my dream, I think.
Yeah, we were
Yeah.
talking about the how the bass scene is starting to grow little by little out in Southeast Asia, in particular. Maybe
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Thailand. Thailand would be sick.
Well, I think we're ready to jump into the lightning round here. So basically, what we're
Sure.
going to do is we're just going to throw some questions at you. Just spit out an answer or two. It'll go pretty quick. We have like 8 or 9 questions. So jumping right in. Would you consider the bass capital of the world to be Denver or Montreal?
Um, Denver.
Let's
Hey, right
go.
answer.
Were you just saying that just because you knew that that's the answer we wanted to hear?
No. Like I was considering Montreal, but to be fair, I haven't played there in a while, so I can't really gauge things. But like from what I've been seeing on like the internet and stuff, like Denver seems to be like
Yep.
the place to be for like bass music. Yeah.
I mean, that's where the FBI is headquartered.
Yeah, and the show you played here, I mean, that was rowdy.
All right, next question. Would you prefer the beach or the mountains?
Um, Definitely mountains.
What
Yeah.
is your favorite BPM?
138.
What is the rowdiest show you've ever played?
I think either Stereo Live in Dallas or this show I played in Brisbane back in like 2019, well, obviously. Um Called I think oh yeah, the venue, I'm not sure what the venue's called, but it was for an event called Havoc. And there's a clip of me on YouTube playing there, and it's like I'm like completely making a fool of myself, but I was having so much fun. Like,
That Brisbane crowd
yeah.
sounds rowdy. I want to go there for a
Yeah,
show.
Brisbane's like next level.
Damn, all the Australian headbangers.
Yeah.
All right, would you prefer to play at a huge festival or for a smaller, intimate crowd?
That's really hard. I would have said like huge festival like 2 years ago, but like I don't know. There's something about playing in front of smaller crowds too that's like super like exhilarating. Like being able to see people's faces and be within like arm's reach of them is pretty cool. So
Mhm.
probably like I'd still say big festival for now, but like small shows definitely have their place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And especially with the smaller crowds. I mean, they're most likely your biggest fans because with these smaller crowds, they
Yeah.
bought a ticket specifically to see you.
Mm.
Whereas, festivals, you got like freaking like 50 sets to catch. And you're like, okay, Excision's playing at this one, Phase One's playing at that one, Woolly's playing at that one. And you gotta like make
Hmm.
time, strategize.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. Do you have any shows lined up this year?
A couple, not like a full-on tour or anything, but yeah, I I can't say when or where. I've got some local ones coming up soon that I've announced, but like as for the States, I can't really say anything yet. But yeah.
Hell yeah, we'll have to keep it locked. Next question. So our friend Shocker T, Scotty, he's here. He's here in Grand Junction. He's probably your biggest fan in Colorado. He had a question for you. He's asking, who or what inspires you to produce? And it can be EDM related, non EDM related.
Um I guess there's like two main influences in my music, like Trampa, like since like day one, and probably this like progressive metal band called Meshuggah. Uh, yeah, I'd say yeah, Trampa and Meshuggah.
Sweet.
Nice. So,
Yeah,
I mean, if you could collab with any artist that you haven't collabed with, who would it be with?
probably 5 Yo Foreign. He's like this drill rapper from New York.
Oh,
Ooh,
New
that would be
York.
sick.
Yeah, or like Chef G. He's like another drill rapper. But yeah, I've just been listening to a lot of drill lately.
Hell
Sounds like
yeah,
it.
getting hyped up. Love to hear it. And last question. Do you prefer Spotify or SoundCloud?
I prefer Spotify, but like yeah, SoundCloud definitely still has its place, like with the whole like commenting system and like being able to repost and stuff. You can't really compare the two.
Mhm.
Like they're two like entirely different beasts. But yeah, I don't think Spotify will go. I don't think SoundCloud will like fade away anytime soon. Just
Hmm,
because like it's like the infrastructure for like the entire underground scene.
that's true. And I feel
Yeah,
like SoundCloud is more like a social media for music.
exactly. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep, that's
yeah,
where you find all the IDs
true.
and where we post the FBI Riot Control radio mixes.
Hmm. Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that is the end of the lightning round. Do you have anything that you'd like to say to all of our listeners who are tuning in right now?
yeah. Like if you're doing like things are rough right now, just like keep your head up. Like things always get better. I know it's cliche, but yeah, like take it from someone who's like been going through a lot of shit lately. Like, yeah, just don't give up. Stay positive. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Take care of each other. Always be there for your friends. Check up on your friends. Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah. Sweet. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for being featured as our guest.
Oh, it's my honor.
Awesome. And for everybody listening out there, stay safe, continue to wear those masks, continue to wash those hands, and you will see us right back here next week for another episode of the Filthy Beat Inspectors podcast.